This is part 3 of Maths Chapter 1, Rational Numbers. In this part, we are going to study about multiplication of two rational numbers. Now, multiplication of rational numbers is very easy, unlike addition of rational number or subtraction of rational number. Because in addition and subtraction, you have to take LCM of the denominators and make them equal. In multiplication, there is no issue like that. For example, we'll take solved example over here. 13 upon 6 into minus 18 upon 91. So what you can do is you have freedom to cut or simplify the denominator with the numerator. That's one thing you can definitely do. But you can also cut not only the denominator and numerator of a fraction, but you can also cut the denominator and the numerator of another fraction which is into multiplication. So you can do cross simplification also, cross cutting also, right? So that's why multiplication becomes simpler. So let's do the cutting and see what is happening over here. 6 will cut with minus 18 will give you minus 3. 6 minus 3 is a minus 18, and 3 will cut with 91 as 7. 13 will cut. 13 sevens are 91. So the answer will be minus 3 by 7. That's the final answer, right? Suppose one more example, if whatever they have given here, 11 minus 11 by 9 into minus 51 by 44, right? So 3 3s are 3 minus 17s are, and 11 minus 1s are, and 11 4s are. Now 17 multiplied by minus 1 will give you plus 17 by 3 4s are 12. Now this is an improper fraction, so it's better that you convert it into a proper fraction, mixed fraction, I'm sorry. So it will be 12 1s are 12 plus 5 17, 1 5 by 12. So that should be the final answer. You have to always make sure, see here they've just left it as 17 by 12, but you have to always make sure that you convert improper fraction into mixed fraction. You don't want to lose any silly marks in any silly mistakes, any steps in exams, right? Okay, now this is multiplication, very simple. Now let's look at the properties of multiplication. First property, closure property. What is closure property? When two rational numbers are multiplied, their product is always a rational number, right? If you multiply any two rational number, the answer will always be a rational number. Here they have given an example. Commutative law. Commutative law says that you can multiply two rational numbers in any order. You can multiply first number by the second number or second number by the first number. The answer will always be same. So rational numbers are commutative for multiplication. Here they have taken example of minus 36 by 25 and minus 15 by 28. They have multiplied these two numbers in different order, first into second and second into first. Still the answer is same. Associative law. If any three rational numbers are there, you can multiply them in any order. Still the answer will be same. Fourth property, existence of multiplicative identity. Now, what is multiplicative identity? This is important. Now, you know additive identity for rational numbers. 0 was the additive identity. Means if you add 0 with any number, the answer would be the same rational number. But here we are studying about multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity means if you multiply a rational number with a certain number, the answer will be same rational number. So what kind of rational number is that? 1. So multiplicative identity for any rational number is 1. So if you multiply any rational number like how they have shown here, a by b, with 1, or you multiply 1 with any rational number in any order, then the answer will be the same rational number, a by b. Okay, so that's multiplicative identity. Next is multiplicative inverse. You remember additive inverse? A number which is negative of itself is the additive inverse of itself. If you add such number with its additive inverse, the answer will be 0. Multiplicative inverse is also similar, but the only difference is the answer will not be 0 in multiplicative inverse, right? So in multiplicative inverse, if you multiply two numbers, their product will always be 1. These kind of numbers are known as multiplicative inverses of each other. And they also have one more name, reciprocal. Multiplicative inverses are also known as reciprocals. We all know what is reciprocal, right? If a rational number is a by b, its reciprocal will be b by a. If you multiply a by b by a, we will always get 1. So a by b is multiplicative inverse of b by a, right? So multiplicative identity for every rational number is 1. Multiplicative inverse for every rational number is its reciprocal. Remember a few things which are given over here. 0 has no reciprocal. So 1 upon 0 does not exist. Okay. Reciprocal of 1 is 1. 1 upon 1 is 1. Reciprocal of minus 1 is minus 1. We denote the reciprocal of a by b by a by b the whole raised to minus 1. So a by b the whole raised to minus 1, which is reciprocal of a by b, will give you b by a. Right? Let me show it again. Suppose I have 3 by 2. If I express it like this, 3 by 2 raised to minus 1, it will give me 2 by 3. So raised to minus 1 means reciprocal. And the last property is reciprocal of any integer a is 1 by a, but a should not be 0 because 0 has no reciprocal. So these are all the properties of multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. Distributive law of multiplication over addition. Distributive law is very simple. I'll show you with an example. Minus 3 by 7 bracket 8 by 11 plus 4 by 9. So here after minus 3 by 7 there is a bracket. That means minus 3 by 7 is in multiplication with the sum of 8 by 11 and 4 by 9. Now, if you use distributive law of multiplication over addition, you can distribute this multiplication of minus 3 by 7 with both these numbers over addition. So, if you simplify this, this will look like this. Minus 3 by 7 multiplied by 8 by 11 plus minus 3 by 7 multiplied by 4 by 9. So what did I do? I distributed multiplication over addition. Correct? Yes. Let's go ahead. Multiplicative property of 0. For any rational number, 0 into any rational number will always give you 0. So this is known as special property of rational numbers, that is multiplicative property. Right? 0 multiplied by any rational number is always 0. Let's go to the next topic, division of rational numbers. Okay, so suppose you have 11 by 24 and you divide it by minus 5 by 8. So how do you solve this? So whenever you have some question like this, remember the steps. 11 by 24 will be written as it is. The sign of division will get converted into multiplication, and the number after division sign will get converted into its reciprocal. So it will become 8 upon minus 5. And then 8 will cut with 24 and simplification will give you 11 by minus 15. That is the answer. This is how you solve division. But actually, what is the meaning of this? I'll show you with one more example. Minus 9 by 40 divided by minus 3 by 8. So actually you should write it as minus 9 by 40, the whole upon, because it's division, right, minus 3 by 8. Now this is known as a compound fraction. Why a compound fraction? Because in this, a compound rational number, in fact, because in this, in the numerator there is a fraction, and in the denominator also there is a fraction, and there is a specific way of solving these kind of compound fractions. So you multiply this 40 with minus 3, you multiply the denominator of the numerator with the numerator of the denominator. Sounds very confusing, right? But look at the arrow, remember the arrow, and you multiply this 8 with minus 9. So this is what you should always remember, right? And then how it will look like: minus 9 into 8 upon 40 into minus 3. 8 ones are 8, 5s are 3, minus 3 ones are minus 3 threes are. So this is nothing but 3 by 5. Your answer will be 3 by 5. So this is also one method of doing division of two rational numbers, right? Suppose you divide this rational number by this. You know what to call this rational number? This is your dividend. Dividend. What is this rational number? Divisor. Divisor. And what is the answer known as? Answer is quotient. So on dividing the dividend by divisor, you get the quotient. Here there is no remainder as such, right? Because rational number divisions are simple. Okay. There is a very interesting question given here. The product of two rational numbers is minus 28 by 27, and one of the rational numbers is minus 4 by 9. Find the other. Now see, product of two rational number is minus 28 by 27. They have solved it with the method of x, which is the correct method. Actually, we have been given the product of two rational number. Product means multiplication, and one of the rational number is given as minus 4 by 9. Let the other rational number be x. So minus 4 by 9 multiplied by x is equal to minus 28 by 27, and now you can solve it. So whenever you solve an equation like this, keep x over here, keep minus 28 by 27 wherever it was, and shift this 9 to the other side and minus 4 to the other side. So remember that whenever a fraction shifts from one side to other side, from LHS to RHS, it becomes reciprocal of itself if its original operation is multiplication. If there would have been plus sign over here, then it would have changed its own sign. But if there is multiplication, then sign change nahi hoga. Only thing what will happen is it will become its own reciprocal. So 9 threes are and minus 4 sevens are. So answer is 7 by 3 or 2 1 by 3, right? The other number is 7 by 3 or 2 1 by 3. When 7 by 3 is multiplied with minus 4 by 9, it will give you minus 28 by 27. There are certain properties of division as well. First is closure property. If two rational numbers are divided such that the second one should not be 0, okay? If two rational numbers are divided such that second rational number must not be 0, then their quotient, the answer of their division, will also be a rational number. That's the first property. Second property, if you divide any rational number by 1, you get the same rational number. Any rational number divided by 1 will give you the same rational number. If you third property, if you divide any rational number with itself, you will get 1 is the answer. The examples are given in your textbook. You can have a look at the example and verify. So that was the third part. Yeah, there are a lot of questions in the third part. Okay, and I think there is a last part over here which we can finish it now. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so in the last part we are finding rational numbers between two rational numbers. So the method which they have used is, when you want to find rational numbers between two rational numbers, you have to take the sum of two rational numbers and divide them by 2, and keep on dividing till how many rational numbers you want. So it sounds very confusing, right? But we'll take an example and check. So we'll take this example, minus 3 by 4 and minus 2 by 5. We have to find three rational numbers lying between them. Okay. Minus 3 by 4 and minus 2 by 5. Find three rational numbers lying between them. Okay, now see. According to the method which is shown in your textbook, I will show you first, and then I will explain you one more method which you can also use. So for what we have to do, first we have to write like this: first rational number between these two. It will be minus 3 by 4 plus minus 2 by 5 the whole upon 2. What they were doing in the example, they were multiplying with half. I'm dividing it by 2. It's the same thing, right? So what will it become? Now I'll take LCM of the numerators, the fractions in the numerator. So LCM of 4 and 5 is 20. So what should I multiply by 4 to make it 20? 5. So I will directly write, okay? So minus 15 by 20 plus what you should multiply to 5 to make it 24. So minus 8 by 20 the whole upon 2. So this is minus 15 minus 8 by 20 the whole upon 2. So this will be minus 15 minus 8 is minus 23 by 20 will go down and multiply here. So it will become 40, minus 23 by 40. So minus 23 by 40 is the first rational number between the given two rational number. Let's check our answer. It's correct. Now you know what is the case. Try to understand. Our first rational number was minus 3 by 4, right? And our second rational number was minus 2 by 5. We found a number exactly between them. So the number which we found is greater than minus 3 by 4 and it is smaller than minus 2 by 5. It's between them. Now we need to find three rational numbers between these two. We just found one. So what we'll do is, we'll take the first rational number, we'll take the second rational number and again apply the same method, that is add them and divide them by 2. Then we will take the second rational number, the middle one, the third rational number, add them and divide by 2. So we get one more rational number between them. So we get 1, 2 and 3 rational numbers between these two. This is the plan. Can we do it? Okay, let's do this. So second rational number. Remember the steps. Minus 3 by 4 plus minus 23 by 40 the whole upon 2. Minus 3 by 4 plus minus 23 by 40 the whole upon 2. Okay, the LCM of 4 and 40 is 10. So I'll multiply 10 in the numerator and denominator of the first fraction. It will become minus 30 by 40 minus 23 by 40 the whole upon 2, right? So this can be written as minus 30 minus 23 the whole upon 40 the whole upon 2. 40 will get multiplied over here. So minus 53 by 80. Minus 53 by 80. This is the second rational number between our given two numbers. So we can write it like this now. Minus 3 by 4 is greater than minus 53 by 80, which is smaller than, I'm sorry, minus 23 by 40, which is smaller than minus 2 by 5. So we have got two rational numbers now. Now what we'll do is we'll take the second last number and the last number, add them, divide them by 2 to get a number between them, the third rational number. So third rational number, minus 23 by 40 plus minus 2 by 5 the whole upon 2. So what is the LCM of 40 and 5? 40, right? So minus 23 by 40 plus, I will multiply 8 in the numerator and denominator to make it 40. So if I multiply 8, it will become minus 16 by 40. So this is minus 23 minus 16 the whole upon 40 into 2. So this is minus 39 by 80. Correct? This is the third rational number. So we can write the final answer as minus 3 by 4 smaller than minus 53 by 80 smaller than minus 23 by 40 smaller than minus 39 by 80 smaller than minus 2 by 5. So these are your required three rational numbers between given two numbers. So that is one of the method. Okay, if you would ask me, I can show you one more method. Definitely I can. Let me show you. Minus 3 by 4 and minus 2 by 5, and this is an easier method. Okay, I'll find three rational numbers with this easy method. Minus 3 by 4 and minus 2 by 5, right? Yeah. Okay, so what we are going to do in this method is, first we are going to take LCM of both the fractions. So the LCM of 4 and 5 is 20. 4 5s are 20, 5 4s are 20. So they will become minus 15 by 20 and minus 8 by 20. Now I want you to look at the numerator because denominators have already been equalized. So what is the numerator? Minus 15 and minus 8. So just write a number which is greater than minus 15 and smaller than minus 8. Right? In a number line, if you see, this is 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and dot 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 minus 8 and dot 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 minus 15. Which is greater, minus 15 or minus 8? Of course minus 8 is greater. As you go towards the left side of number line, the numbers become smaller and smaller. As you go towards the right side of number line, right side of 0, the numbers become greater and greater, right? So this is how the number line works. So we know that this is smaller and this is greater. So we need to find numbers which are greater than minus 15 and smaller than minus 8. And how many numbers? Only 3. Okay, so easy. Minus 15 by 20 is smaller than minus 12 by 20, smaller than minus 11 by 20, smaller than minus 9 by 20, smaller than minus 8 by 20. Done. Right? Minus 12 by 20, minus 11 by 20, and minus 9 by 20. These are the numbers which are between minus 15 by 20 and minus 8 by 20. These are the numbers which are greater than minus 15 by 20 and smaller than minus 8 by 20. Right? So these are your required numbers. Very easy method, right? So you can write it like this. Three numbers between minus 3 by 4 and minus 2 by 5 are minus 12 by 20, minus 11 by 20 and minus 9 by 20. Correct? So suppose we have to find 10 numbers. Then you would say, sir, there are no 10 numbers between minus 15 by 8, minus 15 by 20 and minus 8 by 20. Then how will find 10 numbers? That is also very easy. Okay, so suppose we have our numbers minus 15 by 20 and minus 8 by 20, and we have to find 10 numbers between them, 10 rational numbers between them. So there is one more method. What you do is you multiply the numerator and denominator by 10. Possible. You can multiply numerator and denominator by the same number. The value of number does not change. So it will become minus 150 by 200 and minus 80 by 200. Now just imagine how many numbers lie between minus 150 and minus 80. There are 70 numbers. You have to choose only 10. Very easy. So you can find 10 rational numbers as you please. Right? So these are few more methods which I have discussed to insert or to find rational numbers between given two rational numbers. Right? See, they have used a similar method in the next topic, finding a large number of rational numbers between two given rational numbers. So the example over here is minus 3 by 4 and 5 by 6. First they have taken LCM of 4 and 6 like how I did. Then after taking LCM they realize that the gap between the numerator, if you just notice this, the numbers after taking LCM is minus 9 by 12 and minus 10 by plus 10 by 12. The gap between minus 9 and 10, the difference of minus 9 and 10, that is the numerators, is almost of around you can say 19 numbers, and we just have to find 12. So we can easily find. So they have written all the numbers which are greater than minus 9 by 12 and smaller than 10 by 12. See, like this. These are all the numbers between the given rational numbers. Then there is one more type of question where you have to arrange the following rational numbers in ascending order, where they have not taken the example, and also I don't see them in your exercise. Okay, your exercise is quite simple then. I hope now you'll be able to solve exercise 1D as well as exercise 1C. So 1C and 1D is your homework, right? I hope all of you have textbooks so you can finish this exercise. And in the next class, we are going to move to the next chapter, that's exponents and tons. Okay, so best of luck. Finish the exercise. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.